Welcome to Coffee and Tarot with Mama T. My name is Teresa, and I am welcoming in my Gemini friends and spirit to your October reading for the week of the 13th through the 19th. The first thing we'll do is put the camera overhead so you can see the layout of the cards. I've already shuffled, prayed over, cleansed the decks, and selected the cards just to save a little bit of time on these readings. The first couple of ones that I did took a little bit longer, so that's the approach that I'm taking. So we'll look at that, have a look at the spread, and then I will share some of the astrological influences that you have to look forward to this coming week. All right, this is what your spread looks like for the week. We are using 3 different decks. The last one we'll be looking at is the Cosma Visions Oracle, which is a new deck for me that I drooled over for a long time and finally indulged in. And then the other 2 decks that we'll be using are the Forest of Enchantment Oracle and the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. They are companion decks that go together. And then I have 5 questions, one of which will answer each of the cards will answer each of those questions, and we'll go over those as I reveal the cards. But right now we'll talk about the astrology. All right, we start off this week with the moon conjunct Jupiter in Cancer, forming a grand trine with Mars in Scorpio and Saturn in Pisces. Emotional self-examination, deep conversation, which I know you love, Gemini, and taking action are all encouraged with this aspect. Meditation and reflection are also favored, but avoid ruminating over anything that you would qualify as not my circus, not my monkeys. Just stay away from all of that. Worrying about global events during this aspect can lead to a sense of hopelessness, so do take good care of yourself if you do have to indulge in any news. Any amount of time that you spend on news, double that and spend it on yourself. This trine is a reminder to recalibrate, and today in particular is a great day for relaxing bath or any sort of self-care. The biggest shift this week is Venus entering Libra, one of its home signs, on the 13th. Venus also creates a kite formation with Pluto in Aquarius, Saturn conjunct Neptune in Aries, and Uranus in your sign, Gemini, highlighting relationships. Saturn is going to add a little bit of a somber tone to things, though, that may leave us feeling left out. So let the Sun and Venus in Libra exalt the themes of harmony and inclusion, and watch for anyone on the outskirts and bring them in. Invite yourself in if you're the one that's feeling left out, because you will be welcomed. With Pluto and Uranus in the mix, the best use of your energy is to try something different and creative rather than falling into any sort of self-pity. Without abandoning your own values, acknowledge that others do live in their own priorities just as you do. And discussions about these differences will be illuminating. They can help you to grow, and they will help foster deeper connections with the people that you have those conversations with. On October 19th, at the end of the week, Mercury and Mars form a conjunction in Scorpio, creating another grand trine with Jupiter and Saturn. These aspects support determination and focus and the unusual capacity for both big picture thinking and fine attention to detail. This is an excellent time to start a business plan, to write anything, or create media content. Keep in mind that while Saturn encourages discernment, it can also awaken the internal critic. When you find yourself noticing the inevitable problems that you will notice, because there are always some, either with yourself or with others, be sure and come to the conversation with solutions and kindness, or don't come to the conversation at all. Just as your mother always said, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything. Finally, during this grand trine, the Libra sun opposes Chiron, so there may be some old wounds that are surfacing, which will create opportunities for healing and growth. The key this week is to focus on what you can actually change or control without assuming responsibility for the actions of others. So with that, let's dig into your cards. The first question that we're asking of the cards this week is, what does this week hold in store for Gemini? And the card that will be answering that question is the one right at the middle, because it has a cute little door. And I wanted to open that door to see what the week has in store for all of us. And the door, behind the door for you, Gemini, is one of the magical tools of this deck. It is called the Feather of Finding. There are only a few of these magical tools that are in this deck, the Forest of Enchantment, and this is one of them. So that's very cool. Yours, let's see, the Feather of Finding, what it says about that. The feather is lighter than air and will easily levitate when released. Tell it what you seek, being as clear as possible. Then open your hand and let the feather float away. Follow where it leads, which may be to the actual object you seek, or a step in the process of finding it. Of the 4 forest enchantment boons, the feather is by far the most finicky. It may take your request literally or metaphorically, which is why clarity is very important. The results can be dramatic and impressive, but you will likely still have to do some additional sleuthing. The uses for this tool are getting directions, finding misplaced possessions, recovering stolen objects, locating a lost pet or lover, keeping tabs on your child, highlighting important things to read. So with this particular tool in your tool chest this week, it seems to be saying that you may be following some different threads and looking for clues or details of things that seem to be just under the surface. You could be, solving some sort of, mystery, which, I know Geminis love to do that. Let me see, what else does it say here? This feather, if you follow it, could lead you to your heart's desire. Yeah, just kind of following those threads. It doesn't really sound like in the astrology talking about the idea of focus. This sounds like, letting something else let you take you on your direction of focus. Let's see what the other cards have to say about this. In any case, this does sound like a magical sort of week in which some new discoveries may come to light. All right. The next question that the cards will answer is the gift from the universe for Gemini. And the gift that you receive from the universe, it's the same one that Taurus received, is the Ace of Visions. This is like the Ace of Cups. And this swan, you can see as the swan is gliding along down this little forest glade, as she looks in the reflection of herself, she's wearing an amulet and a crown. So the future for this swan is clear. She is going to be the queen or the king of cups. And so an offer is coming into you, some kind of new opportunity. This could be an offer of love. This could be an offer of, some kind of emotional growth. Definitely something coming in from the universe. Now, the next question is, what do I have to empty my hands of in order to receive this gift? Just as if if our hands are full of something and somebody wants to give us something, we have to set something down. Same with our calendar. If our calendar is overly full or our mind is overly full, then it's hard for the universe to find the empty space in which to pour this new gift or blessing. And so you've got to create a vacuum. You've got to create an empty space. And what you need to let go of this week is the Four of Visions. So the Four of Visions is the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is saying, give it another shot. This guy, when you look at him here, he looks like he's bored. He looks discouraged. He looks, he just looks bummed out. And the image of this is really well depicted in, let's see, it's really well depicted in the Rider-Waite and the Lights Here's deck. Let me pull up the Rider-Waite, because I know I have the Rider-Waite one in order just for this kind of thing. So the Four of Cups, yeah, here it is. It shows this guy sitting here. He is discouraged or depressed. I call it the brat card. All he's thinking about is these three cups that he either doesn't like what's in them, or they spilled, or he wanted something else and that's what he got. And he's not even paying attention to the literal hand of God, the hand of the universe, handing him this cup and saying, give it another shot. You're going to like this one. This is what's in that cup, is this gift that the universe wants to give you. Here it is. And so all you have to do is look around. So what the universe is asking you to do is to, what you need to give up and get out of your hands this week is any sense of discouragement. If you feel discouraged, to try again, let go of that, because the next opportunity is going to be the one that works. Okay, the next question we're going to ask the cards is, how will I approach this letting go, and what help is available? And the card that you receive here is the Swan. I mean, you can't make this up. You get this. These are different decks, and you get the Swan on each of them. The Swan in this particular deck is equal to being the High Priestess. The High Priestess, I believe, let's just double check. I don't want to just take the numerology on it for granted, because this deck is different enough from a tarot deck that it's called an oracle. Yeah, the mirror card is the High Priestess. So what this card has to say is, a glowing shield cascades down the neck of the brilliant red swan. This shield represents a protective presence in your life. The swan is an omen for safe changes. If the swan comes up when you have a decision to make, take it as an affirmation that what you feel in your mind is what your heart needs too. It represents mental clarity, wisdom, and connection with your unconscious mind. If you've been waiting to take the plunge into something new, now is the time. So, yeah, the way you're going to approach letting go is to just dive in. You are going to hear this message and say, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'm going to do that. It's safe for me to make that, to accept that message. And then the advice or support that you get from Spirit is our last question that we're asking the cards this week. And the answer that you receive is the Peacock. And the Peacock is the Empress card. It's the same thing as the Empress. So to get the High Priestess and the Empress back to back is amazing. I love that for you and for me, because Gemini is my rising sign. The peacock lives between two worlds. It is a reminder that it is possible to find a happy balance between things like work and love. and the grounded in the spiritual. This card is about nurturing yourself and finding peace in the world that you live in. When you see the peacock in a reading, it can also be representative of an increasingly strong bond to the earth or need to reconnect with it. This can be a card that speaks about great unions of unlikely things, and it asks us to keep an open mind wherever possible. I know that's not a problem for you, Gemini, and I think this week sounds like a magical week that is right around the corner. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And I will see you in my next video. Hope you have an awesome week. Bye now.